Hey, AfterBuzzers, we are so excited to talk about episode 20, Misery of New Girl. We've got special guest Amber Coyle in the studio, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Alrighty, it is our favorite time of the week, and you know why? Because we are talking New Girl, and we have not only the Amber Coyle in the studio to talk about this episode, which she's kind of the reason all the drama went down. But before we get into it, I'm your host, Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Nasta and on Instagram at AllieGirl. And Tessa Cevaal, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tessa_Cevaal.
And Amber Coyle, where can they find you on the social media platforms?
IG and Snapchat is at Some Call Me Lips, all one word, and on the Twitter, it's Amber_Spamber.
Alrighty, well, there you have it. Amber how do you spell it? Say that?
Spamber.
Spambered. There we go.
I love it.
Well, and so we've got this episode called Misery. You were saying before the show, I was like, I don't really understand what it means. What does it mean?
So the reference is before your time. This old lady over here knows exactly what they're talking about. I think it was Kathy Bates was the lead actress. It was an old movie, maybe the 80s or 90s, and she basically locked up this this writer, and I don't remember the whole story because I was young, but she was like obsessed with him, and she locked him up in her house and tied him up to the bed and like bashed his ankles with a hammer, and he couldn't leave. So that's why, you know, her dad, she was like cutting his toenails, and like, you know, the parallels there. I thought it was pretty funny, but
yeah, I think I've actually seen that. I think I've seen that movie like in bits and pieces, and I didn't put the two together because I didn't know the name. But that makes so much sense, and it was kind of creepy because they played that like kind of music with Jess. But poor Jess, you know, she's really just losing it with this whole Nick thing, and it's putting her through a ringer, and we see Nick go through the ringer. But how do you feel like Jess is totally putting away her emotions? This is not like anything she usually does. She usually talks about it and like makes a big scene.
This was such a different side of Jess. And it was just so weird to see her so disconnected from all of her friends.
Yeah.
Like, that was what was weird to me.
to just pick up and leave like that.
Yeah.
Like, sorry guys, bye.
I'm out.
Later.
Nick, figure it out on your own. Peace.
Off like a prom dress. Yeah, no, she's. We all know what's gonna happen. Let's be real.
Yeah.
We know what this is. This is coming to a head.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, I mean, it definitely is, and it kind of was sparked by your line of saying. Can you do the honors?
Oh God. Oh God. I don't know.
I'm really gonna put you on the
Oh
spot.
yeah, it was probably filmed a long time ago.
No. Let me stop by saying they cut some of my lines. So I can't remember which line you're referring to. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty interesting because when I auditioned for the role, there was actually no lines. I'm like, how is this bless you? How is this a co-star role if I don't have any lines? Like, it didn't make sense. And the casting director were like, well, you never know. They could add lines. You never know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, oh, universe, you know, give it to me, Buddha, whatever. Like, give me lines, please. I ended up manifesting it because at midnight, the night before we shot, I opened my email and there's the script, the new version of the script. And I was like, yes, I have lines. But, and it's really crazy because you go a whole 12-hour day shooting. Just those scenes for the party was an entire day, like not even including Winston, like the other characters.
Yeah.
Like, so it was really interesting. But yeah, they chopped it up. But you know, that's the business. You know, they're trying to get 22 minutes, squeeze it all in.
Yeah.
There was a really funny montage, though. I was kind of hoping that they would play because as Nick is coming in with Reagan, he's like terrified inside because he's never met any of her friends.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know, you know, after she mentions like, yeah, this is kind of like camp. We all hook up with each other. And he's kind of like, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Oh my God, I'm dying inside. That's when he walks up and sees us, and they actually had us stand on apple boxes to make us look taller in some of the scenes because they were trying to make us just look like godly, like tall and beautiful, gorgeous, all of us.
That's funny because I thought that.
Yeah, and so he wasn't sure if she like slept with me or the other girl or Jack. played by Peter Porte. But yeah, anyways, we had this montage where they were gonna do like a slow motion kind of thing where I'm like, ha ha ha, grab Megan's hand and like kind of do that, yeah, where I'm holding my cup and like we didn't know what they were gonna do with that, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about what could have happened, but I'm just saying it could have went in many different ways.
That's really exciting to hear too, and it's just kind of funny because we see that line and we think of it so differently than like what your experience was, because I think it was what she said was so are you going to take it?
Oh, yeah. So what do you think, Nick? Are you going to take it? Or is she going to take it? Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of caused all this like ruckus between Nick and Reagan, which we see him totally freaking out. Okay, so we have these like, we totally were like on the Nick and Reagan bandwagon for like 2 episodes, and then we kind of were like, nah, we don't like them. They have no chemistry, and we totally saw the no chemistry. Like, why are you even dating at this point? Like, you are basically in a relationship to say I have a boyfriend and I have a girlfriend.
It honestly, her character's kind of blah to me. I mean, he's such a funny guy.
Yeah.
Like, even him as a person, like working with him as an actor, like he is so good at improv. If you could have seen the script that they had in our trailer that morning, there was a whole alternate script where he had like chunks of dialogue like this big, and I'm thinking, oh my god, it's 6 a.m. and we're about to shoot this, and how the hell is he gonna remember all that?
Yeah.
But I guess you've been working 6 seasons, you get that momentum up, and you're just like blah blah blah. Diary of the mouth. You read it twice, and you're good. Like, you're good.
Yeah. I mean, that must have been so much fun. Were you a fan of the show before you kind of like when you got this role?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen every single episode of every season. It's been going on for a while, but dude, when I got that call, I was like, I actually cried. I was so freaking pumped.
So excited.
Yeah, it was like a really exciting moment for me because it's comedy. It's right down my alley. Like if I could have booked anything, this is like the perfect thing for me. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Really
That's
grateful.
awesome. Yeah,
really
congratulations.
Grateful.
Yeah, and again, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we've been talking about this show for now 20 episodes into this season, and we're super obsessed. Obviously, why we're here, right? I mean, you just can't get any better than New Girl. But going back to the Nick and Reagan situation, with seeing a little bit of the show, what is your take on Nick and Reagan's relationship? And then, like, you obviously want Nick and Jess to be together. #Ness.
Yeah. It to me, I mean, like a real relationship, you would tell your significant other like big news like that. I think I may have like experienced that kind of thing when I was younger, when you don't know, or you just don't really care, you're just not really in it. And I don't feel like she's really in it, because if you love someone, you're gonna literally open your chest up and be like, oh, get inside of me, I want you to know everything.
That's a great visual.
You didn't get that? You don't get like that? Oh, just kidding. But yeah, I think that's exactly where the show is heading, is that Nick and Jess are going to end up together, because look, the other people have already moved out. Everyone's moving on, they're grown-ups, like, and they're still going to the loft, like they live there. It's like, all right, guys, where is this show gonna go now? Like, everybody's gonna have a significant other, and then what? They're gonna like have a spin-off show, maybe. Hey, that's an idea, spin-off show. You never know.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, we saw Shmisi. I actually found out, we were wondering what their name was, and Shit and Cece is Shmisi. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, Shmisi. So we saw them.
I love that.
Yeah, and they kept popping up, like mom and dad's like, what's going on? Give me the dirt. Come on, like, give me the drama.
They were so much like parents in this episode, just like, what? Like, oh, you're happy we're here? Yay, like, we are here. Like, say it again.
It's like, we don't have jobs. We have nothing to do but come here to this loft and watch all of your drama like a soap opera. Let's do this.
It is funny. There are sometimes in the episodes, like this one in particular, I'm like, is this the weekend? Is it the weekday, weeknight? I'm trying to figure it out.
They were making sandwiches. I definitely noticed them making sandwiches in one scene in the background.
They were making sandwiches. I think
true.
Right at home.
Yeah.
No permission, just let me open that fridge.
I did think that too. I was like, but they don't live here anymore. Whose food are they eating?
I think Winston said something like, oh, now y'all are just making sandwiches now, or he said something alluding to the fact. Which, with Winston and Allie, this was a big deal for them. They brought in the mom.
I know.
How hilarious is she?
Oh,
I want her to be my mom.
I know, right?
She's freaking awesome.
Awesome.
I know. I loved the scene when Winston gets lost in, like, I think they're in a toy store. She's like, my baby,
where's my baby? I lost my baby.
And then you're like waiting to see like a toddler, and he's like, Mom, I was just over there. And you're like, Winston, yes. Which
so funny.
we talk about this. I mean, did you get to work with Lamorne at all in this this episode? Yeah.
Did not. The whole day was dedicated to our scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shoot. The funny thing is, they really, like, with a high budget like this, working with Fox, like, they shoot every freaking angle of every little take. So that way they just have the option to just be like, blah, here, like, throw, edit together, whatever they want. But it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Wild stuff, ladies.
Love it. I know. Well, it just like with Winston and Lamorne and Winston's character, I was cracking up at the end of his radio show that he put together for his mom. Like, can I actually, like, can that be like a podcast? Can we go on and do this every week? Because I would listen.
It was so real.
It was so real and hilarious. I was laughing by myself watching it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little LOL action.
So funny.
He is great. And we do see there's a little bit of opening up in this relationship with Allie, and they're, because, you know, we were wondering, like, okay, we haven't seen too much happen after the proposal. It's been kind of like, you know, naysay. But we saw him, you know, she totally broke the secret, and her and his mom and her, like, friends now. It's all working out. We're getting the family involved. This is
Hashtag meant to be.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They were. And my roommate's actually like been rewatching, like been watching the season from the beginning, because I've been telling her to like catch up. And I'm rewatching them fall in love, and it's just so great.
I love it.
I know. Winston and Allie, so much fun to watch.
Well, and it was good to see them be serious for once.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like, they're so goofy all the time, especially in the last couple episodes. To see them kind of like, especially Allie, be like, no, like, we should like tell your mom we're cops.
Yeah. And have a
was,
serious
like,
moment.
Yeah.
It was definitely needed. Speaking of serious, I just think we need to jump on this Jess and Nick train. There's no seriousness happening. Like, I don't even know where we're gonna go with this, because Nick, like, I don't understand how he hasn't realized it yet. Like, hello.
I know, he called her like a million times when him and Reagan got in a fight, and I was like,
Typical guy, ladies. Are you really that surprised?
Yeah.
I know, but it's like, I feel like Nick doesn't know.
No, he doesn't. In any of these scenes that they're together, like, you would have thought last episode he would have, like, had a realization, because she's like, you know, I'm basically your girlfriend. He's like, oh, haha, you are. And it's like, okay, well, are you gonna, like, say anything about that? Are you gonna make this happen? What's gonna go on?
He's, you know, Megan Fox. He's all wrapped up.
That's true.
I mean, the whole, it was miserable for him. That's also why they called it misery, right? The whole thing was miserable for him.
Totally. I mean, well, it's just funny, too, because with Reagan, you were saying that she kind of doesn't really have much to say. Her personality is just kind of like, meh. And I think what I'm realizing now is that they are so similar that, like, their characters, like, obviously Nick is more funny, but they both are, like, the same person, so that's why this relationship can't work, because they don't even realize they're not having a relationship.
See, I almost feel like this episode, I thought for the first time they weren't that similar.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like Nick is really eccentric, and Reagan's not at all. And I think we just keep forgetting that because they're both kind of, like, goofy, odd, like, kind of, like,
it's
not
like
all there in a way.
She's like the dude and he's like the chick.
Yeah.
He did say that.
And well, no, Reagan said that. When she was like, you're being so,
Do we really have to do this right now?
She said, why are you acting like the girl in this?
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, none of them, like they were saying, were not taking initiative to making this happen, and it just was going nowhere. It's kind of like, what? Like, you don't notice? You, like, they were just going to let it go, and then be a relationship without being a relationship. So I just, like, don't even know where we're gonna go with this whole Jess and Nick thing at this point, because I mean, do you guys have any ideas of where we will have this relationship go? Because we only got like 2 episodes left before the season finale, or 3.
Well, when she gets back home, I think that's when it's all gonna go down.
But do you think it's gonna be, like,
dramatic? I think feelings are gonna pour out. It's gonna be happy and titillating.
Well, I think so too, because this episode we actually saw her get really emotional, and I feel like she's been holding it in.
Yeah.
She's been really good about doing that and just like putting off her emotions, and finally she broke down to her dad and just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't, I don't know what to do. And that is such a hard situation. It's not like she can, we even talked about this, like how, could you live with your ex-boyfriend?
No.
Yeah.
Negative ghostwriter.
Yeah, definitely not. And she's been living with him and like supporting his relationship for the past like however many months it's been in New Girl World.
Not supporting, but like a love triangle. Like they are all in a relationship together.
What couple would invite another chick that you know is his ex-girlfriend like on a trip?
So weird. Allie
Really,
and I
people.
always talk about this.
Yeah, like it just wouldn't work out. I just couldn't imagine. And the fact that she's so in love with him, and like everybody in the house knows it, and they're just kind of like, let's not talk about it. Let's miss out on this one.
In the room.
Yeah.
It'll come to a head.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm so excited though.
Me too. It's kind of like, which was kind of weird when the end of this episode happened. It kind of, they didn't really they didn't break up at the party, but then he said when they were sitting on the couch they broke up because she was like, let's just go to bed. So I didn't think they actually broke up. I thought they were just ignoring and not taking initiative again.
Probably cut the lines.
Oh. Tessa, did you think that they...
I don't know. I was honestly really confused because what did he say? He didn't really say they broke up. He said they were like on the rocks or something, right? He was like, oh, things aren't going well.
He said so. I thought
he didn't explicitly say that they were over. He was just like, yeah.
Well, when she said, I'm going to take the job, like, if we weren't together, would you take the job? And then she's like, all right, I'm going to take the job. And he's like, good for you. Like,
so that, okay, so that
I
was
think that's
just...
kind of like the, all right, we're cutting cord here.
I guess that makes sense. I think I'm the kind of person that, like, needs that, like, you are broken up.
We are finished.
Because she keeps coming back, because we kept thinking that, you know, she was working far away, so then possibly she would not come back and she would cheat on him or something. But she kept coming back. So this time I'm like, is it for real? Is it happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But with I can't say it, Schmeesy.
I love that.
I love them. And we always do Schmidt Quotes. So do you have a Schmidt quote from this episode that you thought was great? I'm putting
really putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot right now. You don't have to.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, that's okay. Tessa, what was yours?
What was mine? Let me look. I could not remember one off the top of my head.
Oh, someone
Do you have one?
Yes, I do. And someone in the live chat said they didn't break up. He said, I don't think we're going to work out.
That's what it was. Thank you,
Umber Star. He said that, yeah,
Told
okay.
you.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading something. Yeah, no, that was exactly what he said. Thank you for that. But I need that affirmation of they are broken up for good. My Schmidt quote was, come lay your head in my bosom. And he was like...
Oh, wait, that was mine. I just read that.
He was like...
To Nick.
Yeah, Nick was like, I mean, I would have done it to her, but not to you. But no, like, not happening. Love their relationship. Well, Amber, I want to get into some questions about you. Sure. What's going on? Obviously, you said you were a fan of the show. Like, what was it like? You said you cried when you got the script, but like, what was it like being on set with them and being around all of these amazing, you know, comedians and actors?
Well, I peed my pants. No. I was actually a little bit nervous, to be honest. Yeah, it was quite like the shock, you know, just being on the Fox lot and, you know, they even have like slippers for you for in between takes when you don't want to wear your heels and bust your feet, you know. Yeah. So you're really taken care of. Yeah, is really nice. And you know, they have the cast chairs, like the director chairs, you know, with Megan Fox's name on and everything. And Jake actually came up and introduced himself to us co-stars, and I thought that was very nice.
Definitely.
You know, and humble to come, like, just shake our hands and say hello, because we're about to be shooting together for an entire day. Yeah. And, but Megan didn't do that. And so it, not gonna lie, a little awkward going into a scene to act with people that you've never met in your entire life, and I'm supposed to play your friend and look you in the eye and, you know, like, so that kind of, like, inside, I was kind of like, yeah, this is great. Oh, my God, what is happening right now? No, but I got through it, they did their close-ups first, so thankfully you didn't get the ghost Amber version of Cassie. But you know, as we were running it through all the, you know, it gets more comfortable the more takes you do and everything.
Yeah.
And halfway through, I think the guy who was playing Jack, he asked her a question, and she was like, "Yeah, I just had my 3rd baby, blah blah blah." And I go, "What? I didn't even know you had kids," because she is literally this tiny.
Yeah.
Like, she is super tiny. Like, I tower over her, and little arms and little legs, gorgeous face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did feel like an Amazon next to her.
And then they put you on stools so you're even taller.
Yeah. No, but she was just kind of quiet and to herself for the most part. And I mean, if you ask her a question, she'll answer and engage with you. We talked about eyebrows and bikini wax and just random things. Yeah. But yeah, Nick was or excuse me, Nick, whatever.
I know.
He was really cool. Like, we sat around and kind of picked his brain a little bit, and he's like, you know, this is kind of like Groundhog Day for me. 6 seasons, and here we are.
Yeah.
You're another co-star. And I'm like, all right, and I'm super excited because it's the only episode I'm on. Hey!
I mean, I'm sure it was so exciting, and just, I mean, even being able to talk to him, and that was so great that he introduced himself before you guys got into the scene. But talking about comedy, and that is your favorite genre, right?
Indeed.
Awesome. Well, like, what's your favorite, like, what kind of comedy do you do?
I've done a little bit of everything, you know.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of improv, sketch comedy. I used to do stand-up. I'm thinking about getting back into it. It's very terrifying, but it's fun. Like, when it's good, it's like really good, and you'll never feel so titillating in your life. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do it again.
Yeah.
We'll see. But you know, I do drama stuff too. It's just whatever to pay the bills, because you're either down here as an actor or up here. No in between. Yeah.
Well, I feel like for this episode, you're definitely up here. It was so fun to watch you, and just kind of like, and thank you so much for coming, seriously, because it's fun to be able to kind of incorporate our show and what we've been talking about, and seeing that you were kind of, your character was the main one that like made this whole drama of Nick realizing Reagan wasn't the right person for him.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy you guys had that chemistry. Like, you really felt, like, to now know that you didn't talk to Megan before you, like, pretended to be her best friend, like, all day. That's, like, crazy to me.
Yeah. It's crazy to me, too. I lived through it. No.
You're like, we are best friends.
I was, like, stalking her afterwards. Where you going? What you doing? No. Anyway.
No, I mean, just that scene in general, it was kind of like a good, like, I felt like it was like, I finally said, finally, we're seeing them realize, oh, we are not meant to be together. So, I don't know. It was great. Tessa,
weeks on end of predicting this. It's like, finally, it's happening, Ellie.
Yeah, I feel like this episode, there was like a huge, we're gonna realize, like, this was like the huge buildup, and like you said, like, next episode, it's going down. Jess is returning. We're going to see some Ness action. Woohoo! Tessa, how are you feeling right now?
I am so excited, to be honest, because it has been such a big build, and we've predicted this for literally weeks. If you guys have been watching, you've seen Allie and I'd be like, Nick and Jess, like, it's gonna happen. We couldn't figure out how. We thought Reagan was gonna cheat on him.
Yeah,
I did. We thought, what else did we think?
I thought that Nick was gonna, like, I think he was gonna, like, freak out or something and like be super emotional, and then Jess was
kind of did happen.
Yeah. And then Jess is gonna, like, come and be like the saving grace, which is kind of, I guess, you're right, what's going down is because Nick is, like, emotionally unstable and is like, what's happening in my life?
I'm kind of bothered by this, actually.
I know.
Yeah, he did say that.
And then he runs into that sign with the monster on it, like the anxiety medication.
That he wins later, like a life-size version of it. I was dying.
Just a little reminder every day for him.
Of, like, what not to do. And he spent $300 to win that.
$300 for this scary anxiety monster.
Also, too, this is another reason why him and Jess need to be together, because either I was saying this could go two ways. Jess would either be the one to be like, you shouldn't spend your money on that, like that's silly, like Nick, stop, like stop him from doing that. Or Jess would be the one to be like, all right, let's buy more, and they would like totally get addicted to buying these raffle tickets, and then they'd be in this whole scenario where like I was just playing it out. It's like, if Jess were here right now, how would this go?
What would happen?
I feel like that's
What would Jess do?
What would Jess do?
Yes.
WWJD.
What would Jess do? I love it. I love it. I feel like that's actually what happens every episode. It's like, what would she do in this situation? And all of her friends ask that all the time. Like, what would Jess do? And Nick was asking that to himself, pondering it, calling her. I was actually proud of her that she didn't answer.
Me too. I was thinking that. I was like,
yeah. And
that's a first, kind of.
yeah, definitely. And she didn't even she didn't listen to the message, that voicemail. It's like, come on, you've got to
Maybe that'll be on the next episode.
Oh, that would be exciting. That would be really exciting. Well, right before we get into some predictions, I want to ask you, so do you have any upcoming projects you want to talk about? Fun things happening for you?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Let's talk about it.
A friend of mine wrote a pilot, and I just booked a role in his pilot.
That's amazing! Congratulations!
It's called Bromance.
All
yes,
right.
my friend Antonio Leon. He is a very talented man, and I'm really excited for this because it's kind of like Hangover essence, you know, like it's really hilarious. I read the script and got some LOLs. And, it's good stuff. I'm pretty pumped about that. And also, earlier this year, I worked on a feature film in Alabama called Branded. And me and two of my very close girlfriends, who are also blonde, we are tired of being just a pretty dumb girl, slut, hooker, whatever you want to book me. I'm funny, and I'm smart, and I have a degree. So we decided...
It's quite the build-up.
Yes.
We are not just lookers, okay? We are deep, we are witty, we are funny, we are smart.
Yes.
So we wrote our own script, and we have a pilot of our own that we're gonna be kicking off this year.
That's amazing!
Wow.
It's called
Congratulations.
Doomsday, and I'm really excited. Part of me is terrified and part of me is excited because, you know, going from an actor to being like writer, this, that, blah, 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 like trying to pitch it and stuff like that. It's a whole other game that, like,
Definitely.
you know, you gotta learn it as you go.
Yeah.
Learn it as you go.
So it's...
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wait, so which stage is it in? Like, is it in...
We're doing legal paperwork right now.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But we're
Sweet.
going to shoot it this year.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it'll
gosh,
be a lot
that's
of
so
fun.
much fun. Well, obviously, you'll have to make sure that you follow her on social media, Amber Coyle, or Amber Spambird on social
Amber
media.
_Spamber.
Yes, to make sure you can keep up with this project. That is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Anything else happening for you?
Gonna start working on my stand-up, I guess.
Yes.
Here we go.
Well, I will definitely come see you on that because she's hilarious. We've even been talking before the show. It's been so much fun. So much fun having you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, we always do predictions on the show. So we're going to get into some predictions for next episode and for the season finale, which is happening rather than later.
2 weeks, you guys.
I can't even believe it. Predictions.
Diddaloo, 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 diddaloo.
And Tessa, let's know your predictions.
You guys, I'm going to keep my same predictions of Nick and Jess are going to get back together.
Yes.
And I really see it now. And I think Cece's going to get pregnant.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense.
And I think I'm going to stick with my Winston and Allie eloping.
Yeah.
Just like randomly, we'll find out they're married.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, what?
Yeah, they definitely would do it on their own. Like, even, like, they wouldn't even put it on camera. It'd be kind of a thing where it was like, guys, they got married.
Yeah.
Like, just like when Winston jokingly got married, but then it wasn't actually a joke because they actually did it.
get
And
married.
then they had to get divorced, and then the papers, that whole thing.
And his mom's gonna come in. My baby got married without me.
Yes! Yes! I
Please,
need
I want
that.
to see that.
That would be
That would be-
amazing.
yes.
That would be so good. Oh, so that's your prediction. The mom comes in, is like, I need it. I need to see this happen. I love it. Is that it for you, Tessa?
That's it for me.
Okay, I guess my prediction, same, like, I see it. Nesta's getting back together, and I can't even wait. Don't really know how yet. Like, I'm thinking maybe a lot of honesty and a lot of feelings outpouring themselves. And I'm hoping what we'll see is, like, kind of a majority, you know, we need to see, like, Nick and Jess really get into it, like, and I feel like that might be the whole scope of the storyline for this, like, 401 episode. There's just so much that needs to be said, and I think it's going to take up a lot of time, which I hope it does, because I want to know all those answers and hear all those things that they've been thinking in their head without actually addressing. So that, and then I also, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. Like, your prediction, I think, with Cece getting pregnant, I think is definitely can foresee that happening, because you're right, like, Schmidt and Cece, they kind of are in this, like, awkward, like, we have our home, and, like, last time it was, like, them about trying to get all the locks fixated and everything, and then now they're hanging out the loft, so I feel like they definitely need a little baby in their life.
I'm wondering if maybe Winston and his girlfriend will move out after they elope, right? And then Nick and Jess will just stay in the loft, and it'll be like their home together.
I like
That's
that.
a great prediction! You're right, because then they would always have the loft, and it would be like
Yeah,
theirs, and it was kind of like where the magic started.
Nostalgia would
guys.
stay. I just got chills, guys.
Yeah.
I am so freaking smart.
I know. Wait, that actually makes me really sad because, like, we don't know. Obviously, we can't foresee what's going to happen next. Hashtag renew girl. But, like, yeah, if that, like, they would have to come full circle to, like, something if we don't know. I don't know. That's a really great prediction. Now I'm thinking about it and I'm getting all sorts
Anything
of emotion.
could happen. The writers could watch this and then take our ideas.
That's true.
Where are my residuals? No.
Well, with that, it's been so much fun having you. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Please. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Well, thank you. We can't wait to get into it next week and talk about what could possibly happen on the season finale that is happening in just a short couple of weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Allie Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Allie Nasta and on Instagram at AllieGirl. Tessa Cevaal, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tessa_Cevaal.
And Amber Coyle, where can they find you?
You know what? Just find me on Facebook and stalk me. It's cool.
That sounds great. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.